systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the SHIPIT Nation MLB show, August 20th, breaking down the 8-game MLB slate. Had a little bit of a day action, a small 3-game slate. Our Tigers completed the sweep of the Astros today, so that was nice. Got them back on track. A little concern there around the All-Star break, but they've bounced back nicely. So it's a good day, good start to the day. Our Tigers got a win, and joined by my guy, Gyiraszin. How's it going over there, man?
Man, good. You know, we got a big week coming up. You mentioned the Tigers got their shit together. I mean, the whole city here, the whole town in Michigan, they were freaking out. Like, I mean, they were acting like the Tigers were a bunch of bums all of a sudden. I'm like, dude, settle down. Let's hit the brakes. I mean, the Dodgers have been playing like shit. I mean, they're a top team. The Astros haven't, I mean, before, like, they scored a couple runs. Their first place team they didn't score a run in like 30 innings. I mean, teams go through that kind of stuff. The whole key for me was they never lost anybody they had, like the Lions got screwed when they lost touch. It was over. Like, I mean, they were trying to patch it together. It was toast from that point. The Tigers haven't lost anybody like that, so I'm not worried about it. But other than that, yeah, I mean, hey, big week going on here at SHIPIT. We got this golden ticket thing that, man, that's like one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I mean, I kind of wish, can I just be a member? I mean, can I just, like, I want to play. But either way, man, I think it's really cool what we got going. I mean, it's just what a way to give back to the people. I mean, damn. So, I mean, the golden SHIPIT ticket is real. Like, that is awesome. So, and then we got the SHIPIT, a little get together that we have, which is really cool when, you work together with a bunch of cool people, good people. You get together and, coming here to Michigan, our town, like I was kind of laughing, Hoop, when they said, hey, when's everybody coming in? When's everybody getting here? And I said, man, Hoop and I have been stuck here for years. It's like the TV show Lost.
Yeah, it's very true. I mean, it is. Yeah. So got the live event here this week, and it's, I mean, literally 10 to 15 minutes from where we live, which is pretty cool. I mean, it is ironic. I mean, they're playing all over the world, and they chose Plymouth, Michigan to be their world championship, their last stop of the season. So it's pretty cool. So we'll be out there.
That was like a $40 course like 5 years ago. Then they put some money into it. Now it's like $130 or something to play.
Crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah, it is. It's wild. Yeah, it was just a standard course, like nothing special. It was very short because they had three 9-hole courses, essentially 3 different courses. Now that it's down to 2, so they lengthened it a little bit. But I'm curious to see how they set this up, because there's not a ton of room, if I recall. I mean, I played on this course, the new course, before it opened last year, and still not a lot of space. So it'll be interesting. But we'll be out there. I mean, if you're in our community and you're going to be out there, definitely hit us up. We'll be hanging downtown tomorrow, Friday night, and probably Saturday. So make sure to get in touch with us. As you mentioned as well, SHIPIT Games we launched a couple weeks ago, something we're really excited about. I mean, you hear these other sites like, oh, if you sign up with us, you get a deposit bonus at Underdog or here or there. Now we're giving away, as of now, $79,000 in cash and prizes. And that can only go up. We got our first increase to the prize pool with our guy Sheets taking 9th at the FanDuel baseball final. He gave back 5% of his prizes to the overall prize pool here at SHIPIT Nation. So the total number now is 79,000. And we have a show on our YouTube channel kind of breaking down exactly how to get in. But basically, if you're a member, you automatically get ballots into the drawing each week, and there's 3 different styles of game. If you get drawn for the head-to-head versus me, as you can see here on the screen, you automatically get your golden ticket, but then you'll be playing me in a head-to-head for an additional $250. But again, if you're drawn for this, you're automatically in the final at the end. Game number 2 is the easiest way to increase this prize pool. Basically, you will be building a lineup with Tambo into the wild card or whatever the big contest is that week, and 50% of the profit from that contest, if it wins, and hopefully we do get some big wins, will go to increase the SHIPIT Games prize pool. And then game 3 is a 199 person contest. So each week it's 201 people will be selected. The first 2 games, they automatically have their golden ticket. If you get in the third game, the 199 person contest, that person, the winner of that contest, will win their golden ticket. And like I said, the longer you stay with us throughout the season, the more ballots you have. The contest, as it stands now, the top prize would be 20,000, 10,000, 5,000. And SaberSim has also joined us in this venture, so a lot of SaberSim prizes in these payouts as well. So something new we're trying this year, something exciting, just a way to give back to the community, opposed to, the little bullshit giveaways that these other companies are kind of advertising, a deposit bonus at Underdog or something like that. It's an absolute joke. We're giving away at least $50,000 in cash prizes. And like I said, it's only going up. So excited to see how this whole thing plays out. And, if it goes well, which I'm assuming it will, we'll come back with something similar next year, probably much bigger and more prizes along the way. So, join us this NFL season. On the main page here, you can see the link, $349 gets you SaberSim and all our football content, not just NFL, college football is included in this package as well. And you get free all access all the way up till NFL season. So free MLB content, PGA content, all that. So good time to get in and join us. So did I miss anything there, Gyiraszin?
No. I mean, you nailed it on the head. I was just waiting my turn to let Perry Bay know if he comes out, joins me in some festivities. We can figure that out. Safety meetings are always fun. I'm down for that, especially if we're going to be at a bar playing pool and some, dart bar games. I'm down. So you just, you let me know, you hit us up and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I might even have to join in on some safety meetings. Last time we got together, I joined in on the safety meeting.
Yeah,
so,
you did. Yeah, you did.
I might be in this time as well. So yeah, definitely hit us up if you're going to be in the area, Metro Detroit area this weekend, because it should be a lot of fun. All right, we got baseball, 8-game slate. I guess the first thing that definitely stands out is the lack of pitching. We really don't have any true aces on this slate. You look at some of these names, and the most expensive guy down to the bottom. I mean, it is not a very appealing pitching slate. Probably one of the worst we've seen in a while. That's the one thing that stands out to me. I mean, yes, you can make the case for some of these guys, but man, it seems like a slate to me where you're getting your hitters, and whatever you get at pitching, you're kind of good with. That's definitely my first takeaway. And what are your initial thoughts here on the slate?
Yeah, you're right. I kind of feel the same way. I'm just going to build my teams. And then, there's pitching. I'd rather have some value pitching, and there's some guys that I'd just rather take a chance on. The highest priced pitcher, Mizrowski's got some problems. Pitch count issues you're worried about after him coming off the aisle didn't look that good. So it's like, I don't want to pay up for that. There's all kinds of, but really the base of the whole slate is on the 2 sites is Shohei Ohtani. I mean, because I can pitch with Shohei Ohtani on DK, but he's not a hitter. So that kind of takes from the number 1 stack on the whole slate. And then on FanDuel, I can use him as a pitcher, but I can't use, or a hitter, but I can't use him as a pitcher. So on FanDuel, like the Dodger stack is like way better than on DK, because I can, use Shohei. So it's like one dude. I guess he's the best dang player of baseball, obviously, because he's the best pitcher on the slate, in my opinion. And he's the best hitter on the slate on the other side. Like, can't they figure it out? Like Ohtani H, Ohtani P. Like, come on, man. It can't be that hard. Yeah. But shit, I'd use him in both sides. If he could pitch on DK, I'd use him on. If he could hit on DK, I'd use him on both sides.
Yeah, absolutely insane. And the crazy thing is, like, his pitcher price on DK is where he's been as a hitter. So, it can't be that hard to figure it out. It's wild to me that in 2025 they have not figured out a way to make it so you can play him as a pitcher and a hitter. It's pretty crazy, but it's unfortunately what we're stuck with. I mean, the price on DK as a pitcher, pretty appealing, 7,500 in a good matchup. So I think he's definitely in play as a pitcher, but the two sites, I guess, it gets probably a good night to play on both sites. Like if you're gonna really be playing slate, because you can play him as the pitcher on DK and then the hitter on FanDuel. Talk to me about this top tier. Rasmussen up will go 8,100 and above using DraftKings pricing, because to me, I mean, I don't know. Like I'd be fine like not playing any of these guys. No, it depends what you're doing. If you're playing 150 lineups, you probably get some exposure to these guys. But if you're like hand building, like I wouldn't be starting here. I would just go probably super cheap. I mean, this Waldrip guy has been pretty solid. 3 straight solid starts. You talked about Mizrachi. Who's your favorite? Do you feel the need to jam in any of these dudes? Kind of break down Rasmussen and above.
I mean, Ohtani's my favorite. I mean, 7,500, he's been looking really good. I mean, I know he's not above 8,100, but Rasmussen, I mean, he's been solid. I mean, he just doesn't have the pitch count that you'd like. I mean, he gets like 70 to 80 pitches. I mean, Yankees coming off that big night last night, and you know what? And that goes to show you kind of too last night. The Dodgers were chalk. They had 11 runs on 18 hits, and they weren't involved with the winners. The Yankees, the power overtakes, the singles and up. That's why I don't like the Royals. Like, I don't feel like the Royals ever going to come out and hit me 4 or 5 bombs, especially on a bigger slate. Like, I know I have explained it a bunch of times, but that's just the way I feel about them. But either way, the Yankees come out and hit a bunch of bombs last night. So, I mean, Rasmussen, that park is just, it's just the way the dimensions are with nothing behind it. It's just a smaller park. It's just a minor league park. So I'm not really a fan of that. Kikuchi, I mean, I do like Kikuchi, but I mean, he's kind of up and down. Like he's just never really, I feel safe with him. I feel like, I'm kind of just gambling every time I use him. I mean, I don't mind it. They're going to use 8 righties against them. I think he's going to be fairly popular. Probably on DK is what I'm seeing. I mean, especially at 8,500. Waldrip, I think, is interesting. I think people are going to look at the White Sox, but the White Sox, as we know, those who are locked in, the White Sox have been hitting pretty well in recent times. I mean, Waldrip's a ground ball pitcher. He's got a decent, strikeout rate. I mean, he's looked good his last few starts. You get a White Sox team. I don't love it, but I definitely include him in my player pool today. But I mean, then you got Noah Cameron. I can't believe that I really like Noah Cameron. He's probably my second favorite pitcher outside of Ohtani. And it's just because it's the matchup against Texas. I mean, I think it's a great matchup for him. I mean, he's got 24% K rates against lefties. He's got, some strikeout upside there against the better hitters here on Texas. You got Corey Seager. You got let's see who else is here. Smith's got a higher K rate. Duran's got a higher K rate. Freeman down there. Heim, Langford's got a higher strikeout rate. So I think there's some strikeouts to be had there, even though Cameron is a few percentage points below the MLB average. But I just think the matchup kind of bumps them up for me because I don't feel strong about any of these pitchers. I mean, I'm just playing with what I got. And then Mizrachi, I mean, man, that guy come out firing out and, getting all kinds of pub. Dude makes the all-star team, which I ended up finding out that, yeah, and the Kikuchi, right. That wind's blowing in 20 miles an hour in Wrigley. So yeah. That's a big ordeal too. So, I mean, the other thing though with Mizrachi, I mean, I think he's still kind of broken. I think they're gonna use him lightly. Like I worry about it. Like you look on some of the sites, I've seen his pitch count guesstimation to be anywhere between 65 and 69 pitches. So that definitely, I'm not paying 9,800 for a dude that, I have all kinds of concerns about. So, basically up top, I think Cameron is probably my favorite. And then Kikuchi, I think would probably be right behind him. But like I said, Ohtani on DK, he's not on FanDuel. But then I basically have Cameron, Kikuchi, and then I'm just willing to go down to the bottom here, to some of these guys down here on the bottom, like a JP Sears, JT Ginn. I think I'd just rather go down there and take my chances with something like that, build up some lineups, and have some fun. But I don't recommend going like Ginn and Sears down at the bottom. I think that's just a little bit risky, but I think Cameron, Kikuchi, and Waldrop, I kind of put them all in the same batch, like bucket for me. I think depending on what site you're on, depending on, who you think would have a little bit more, ownership, maybe kind of mix it up a little bit from there. But yeah, there's nothing I really love at all on this site. I mean, nothing really stands out. I mean, you could use somebody like Ray against Milwaukee, but I just don't want to fool with Milwaukee. They've been one of the best teams in baseball. I feel like that's just trouble. So, but, I think there's some options down below. Like I said, Sears and Ginn would be my favorite. And, I mean, Sears is on San Diego, too. You think, oh, shit, he's on the A's. But he's going to be out there in San Diego facing a San Francisco team that's got some strikeouts there against lefties. So I don't mind that at all.
So yeah, the situation in Chicago is pretty interesting. It's not blowing out, it's blowing in, which is why the total is sitting at 7. Colin Ray, I think, is fine. I'm fine with anything. Like if you're playing like a single entry contest tonight and there's not a ton of teams in it where you need the absolute nuts, if you can get like 28 on DraftKings out of your pitchers, 28 combined, I think that's like kind of what you should be shooting for. Maybe, I mean, somewhere between 25 and 30. That sound realistic? Like, I think that's good enough. That should be what you want to get out of it, because I don't think we see the massive ceiling outings today where a guy goes out and gets 30 on his own. So like if I was hand building today and I'm in a single entry contest and there's not a shit ton of entries in the contest, I want between 25 and 30 combined, and I'm kind of good with that. Are you thinking the same, or
Yeah, I don't think there's really too much upside we have to be concerned about. And I mean, I talk about that at times too. Like when I'm willing to take chances on guys, on the bottom, it's because I don't feel like yesterday we had 5 pitchers who we thought 5 to 6 guys we thought had some upside. So I felt a little bit more, I was a little bit more uncomfortable going down to the bottom, because I feel like then if my guy does give up some runs and, he does end up getting me maybe 12, 13, like you said, I don't like in a slate like today, I don't think that's necessarily going to kill me. But if I got 5 or 6 guys, I think that do have some upside, that could already just put you way too big of in a hole. And at that point, you got to have a heavily owned, a low owned stack that goes off that nobody else has. It just, vaults you up to the top. So yeah, I don't think the upside's there today at all for pitching at all. I mean, I'm not concerned about it. That's why I think we were saying when we started out at pitching, it's like almost today, like let's just play with some stacks. I mean, if you dry run optos, the optos, I mean, you're basically seeing they're giving you the cheap pitching. I mean, so, and they're going with some Dodger stacks, and, the A's I think are going to be popular today. And, I think, some of the 2 stacks that are going to be popular are going to be pricey, but it just sucks you can't use Shohei as a hitter on DK.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, and kind of talked about it. It's like crazy they haven't figured it out yet. But, that pitching, I guess the overall takeaway is, for me personally, whatever I can at the top, I'd probably take my chances. If I do get exposure to any of these guys at the top, like I'm with you, Cameron, Waldrop, Kikuchi, like I'm fine, but I'm not forcing any of those guys into my lineups. Like if I get them, I get them. I'm just going to roll with, the cheapies most likely. Ohtani is probably the most popular. What do I have up here? I think it's Sabres info. Yeah, so Sabres stuff showing 33%. He's probably the most popular. But man, like he definitely has the upside. Like he can get there. He's the highest projected, and he's only 7,500. So I'm kind of just rolling with whatever I get at pitcher. Like I'm not making any strong stances. I'm not going to, force in a ton of anyone. Like kind of whatever I get. I'm more focused on the offense. So that's my, final thoughts at pitcher. What are your kind of final thoughts? I know you covered all the guys already, but any final thoughts before we move on to offense?
Yeah, I think I saw somebody in the chat mention something about landmines. Like tonight's, right here, Jake saying, tonight's basically about dodging some landmines. And I think that's pretty much true today. And I think really the safest guy on the whole board for me is Noah Cameron. I mean, Texas has not been they've been hitting like shit in the last couple of weeks. And now here, they're going to get a lefty. Yeah, Cameron doesn't have, top-notch strikeout numbers, but I think there is some strikeouts to be had in that lineup. He doesn't generally get beat up. Tech's not hitting well. So, yeah, I think Noah Cameron for me is probably the safest of the bunch. So he'd be my favorite outside of Ohtani. I think Ohtani, he's been getting a longer leash. I think they might let him go. He might go 6 innings today. And Ohtani in 6 innings, man, he could rack up 8-9 strikeouts. So I think Ohtani is about the only guy who has upside today.
Yeah, I'm with you. And like 7,500, it does not break the bank. Obviously, if you decide to go with him, you can still get all the offense you want. You can stack up the Dodgers, which we'll talk about, who will be very popular. You can get whatever you want if you do play a guy like Ohtani. The price tag at pitcher is not all that prohibitive at all. So let's go in, talk through some offenses, talk through some stacks, and we'll kind of just go game by game and do it that way. First game on the slate, we have the White Sox and the Braves. Team total for the Braves right around 5.5. Total for the White Sox right around 4. You know, we talked about Waldrop. I think you can still play some White Sox bats. Like, I don't think he's like a shutdown pitcher by any means. White Sox have had some offensive success recently, and they're still cheap. I mean, you look at their top. Everyone in their lineup is basically under 4K except Colson Montgomery and Robert at 4,400. On the Braves side, Michael Harris, very hot and still cheap. The bottom of the order, very, very cheap. And not that we necessarily need cheap bats, but like this definitely say where you can leave some money on the table. You can still get creative with your stacks, but the Braves aren't all that expensive compared to what we typically see. But Harris definitely stands out. I know it's lefty, but he's been very good since the All-Star break. And, Braves are definitely a stack that I want exposure to, and a stack you can play in a variety of different ways. Like I said, they got really cheap guys at the bottom. Allen, Alvarez, 2,300, 2,200. Guys like Harris, Albies, Sean Murphy, all under 4K. And then, a little more expensive, but not super, super expensive. So I'm in on both sides offensively. The White Sox should not be all that high owned, and I do think they're still in play tonight. So I'm in on both sides offensively. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I like the Braves actually a little bit more than I do the White Sox today. I mean, I'll give a little bit of love to the kid. I mean, this game total does have a total of 9, which is basically tied for second behind the Dodgers. I mean, I think the Dodgers are the team we're probably chasing for like power upside. I mean, obviously they're out in course, so I think there's only like maybe 3 or 4 teams today that I think could keep up. And with the Dodgers, I mean, like I said yesterday, the Dodgers scored 11 runs and had 18 hits, but the Yankees outperformed them DFS wise. So, I mean, what are we kind of looking for something like that again today? Because if that happens again today, like I feel like, the Dodgers are probably going to be a team you want, but I think there's some teams power wise that could keep up. I think the Braves, the A's, the Angels, these are the teams I think keep up. But I think the Optos are liking the Braves suit because, you fill out some spots that are cheap. So, I mean, the top of that, obviously we know, sitting the Dodgers are expensive in course. So that's an expensive stack. And then, the A's now, the top of their lineup is expensive. So, Nick Kurtz is expensive. Langelier is expensive. Like Rooker's expensive. So, those guys. I mean, but you look at some of these Braves, and the Braves been hot. Profar's been hot as shit. He's been in the top of MLB here in the hitting in the last few weeks. Harris, as I mentioned, we were talking about it yesterday. He's like second in OPS in the last 2 weeks, only behind Shohei. And Profar is 7th in all of baseball. And then down there at the bottom, Matt Olson's like 23rd in the last few weeks. So those guys are starting to come around, hit a little bit better. So, yeah, I think they're a good stack to mix in with one of your higher. Like if you want to go the A's or somebody, I think the Braves are good to mix in. Kind of, allows you to even have some of that middle high-end, pitching. And then if you wanted to go Braves, you can mix them in with some of your Dodgers if you want to do that. So I think the Braves are the stack that I think people are going to use, kind of mix in with their more expensive stacks. So, yeah, I think the Braves actually might be a little bit more popular than I'm actually anticipating just because of that.
Yeah, they probably are, just because it's easy to stack them in a variety of different ways. You can play all their guys. They're not super expensive. Even if you do want to stack them and play the expensive bats, you have some super cheap options to mix in there to make it all work. So Yeah, I think they do end up becoming relatively popular. The team total is probably the second highest on the slate besides the Dodgers, which, yeah, that is the case. They're the only other team on here that's showing over 5 at 5.5. So they're going to be popular. But again, there are different ways you can stack them to avoid the popular sort of plays. Got the Yankees and the Rays total in this one sitting at right around 8.5. Team total for the Yankees a little above 4. Team total for the Rays about 4.5. Just after the Yankees went off last night, it just makes you wonder, like, do they get a little bit of steam here? They are somewhat expensive. I mean, if you include Judge at 65, the rest of the guys at the top of the lineup are expensive as well. It does, you do kind of have to not necessarily make sacrifices at pitcher, but with the rest of your hitting. I mean, pitcher, we have cheap guys that we can play, so you can make it all work. I'm moderately interested in the Yankees, not over the top. And then on the Rays side, just a team I don't love stacking. There hasn't been a lot of times this year where you've needed the Rays even in good spots. So I don't know. This is a game I'll probably be under the field on, not super excited offensively. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, I mean, you like the park, like you said, the Yankees nuked it yesterday. I mean, we weren't, really all enamored with the Yankees yesterday with the Shane Baz matchup. And we talked about how Baz is just like, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. He's really good one day, and the next he's like the new Robbie Ray all of a sudden of 2025. So, but I mean, you're going to get the back part of that bullpen against Rasmussen because he doesn't have that long of a leash. So you're probably going to get, probably 4 innings, maybe 5 out of that bullpen. So, I mean, that's kind of interesting. They're kind of middle of the road bullpen, but yeah, I mean, I'm not putting everything into Rasmussen. He's just not a guy that's been getting really beat up. But you know what? If I'm playing 5 teams hoop even, which generally I don't, but if I would, I think I would have to be like 5 deep. I still think the Yankees with that power, if you get them on a low-owned slate, especially on a funky slate like we got today, I think they have the bats. I obviously did it last night to keep up with the Dodger team in Coors Field, who rightfully should have been on all the winners last night. 11 runs, 18 hits. You tell me that. And I mean, everybody, they're not in the right. Nobody would have not thought the Dodgers would have been the team to have last night. So yeah, I mean, I think the Yankees are in play. I just don't like it as much as a couple other spots today. But I mean, the Yankees definitely have the bats to do it.
Yeah, especially it's not a small slate, but like an 8-game slate. There's not a ton of offenses that are popping off the charts. So yeah, I could see it. Maybe I'm a little more excited about the Yankees than initially, just because of the lack of other options in my eyes. I mean, maybe people like some of these teams more than I do, and I'm not loving a lot of these teams. Next game, we have the A's. We have the Twins. Team total for the Twins right around 5. Team total for the Athletics right around 4.5. If choosing between these two, I definitely prefer the A's over the Twins. Twins are just a tough team for me to stack. It just seems like they never get there. I mean, I don't know. They're in a good spot tonight. One of the better spots when you actually look at it in terms of team total, but I just don't love this lineup. Buxton obviously is fine, but outside of that, I don't know. I'm not thrilled with the Twins. So for me, I'll be in on the A's, and it's going to be like their main dudes like Kurtz and Rooker and Soderstrom. I want the main A's guys. I don't want to mess around with these shitty dudes at the bottom of the order. So give me the top of the A's lineup. Twins, don't love them. Maybe more 3-man stacks opposed to 5. So that's kind of where I'm at in this one. Any A's or Twins love for you here tonight?
Yeah, I think the A's are one of the teams that can keep up with, the Dodgers here tonight. Ober's been giving up power to both sides of the plate. I mean, he's got 226 ISO to the left, 228 to right. His WOBA 355, 357. So it's kind of like equal power to both sides. But, I mean, he gets barreled up at 12.5% from the right side, 9.5% from the left side. And his fly ball rate is pretty high to the left. It's 36%, which is pretty high. And we know guys like, Nick Kurtz, 33% fly ball. Langoliers gets it up in the air. Rooker gets it up in the air. So, I mean, I like the top of the lineup. I think they can keep up with them. I mean, like I said, Ober does get beat up. The Twins bullpen isn't that good. So, yeah, I think this is a spot here. I mean, you got to remember too, the Twins traded like half their damn team away. Like, I mean, they pretty much, I mean, that pitching staff is just watered down now. So, I mean, you get the, you get the obvious extra at bat there in the ninth inning. The Twins just, I mean, it's just not probably pleasant to be in Minnesota at this point playing. I think the A's have what it takes to get it done here today. Now, Minnesota, I think, is interesting. Like JT Ginn is really good against righties. I mean, his strikeout percentage against righties is almost double what it is against lefties. He's not walking any righties. He does walk almost 12% of the lefties he's seen so far. His ISO is really high against lefties in the WOBA. But then I look over at this lineup that the Twins are rolling out. I mean, Larnach doesn't tickle it for me. Cody Clemens isn't tickling it. Wallner, I mean, that dude's humongous. He should be playing football. I mean, he definitely could, get the ball up in the air. I think he's interesting. Outman does have a high fly ball percentage, but I guess what I'm getting at is I'm not afraid of the lefties that the Twins are rolling out. So, I mean, to me, I think Ginn's a pretty decent play. There's some strikeouts to be had and I mean, Buxton's almost at 29%. Wallner's striking out at 30%. Outman's got its 45% strikeout rate. So, I mean, I think it's interesting again, but I mean, if the Twins had some better lefties, I would say that it's a pretty good spot, but I don't mind the mini of a Twins, especially if JT Ginn's going to get some ownership today on DK. I mean, I don't mind it. I think you might get a little bit of leverage. So, I mean, I just think I would mini because you can play Clemens wherever else. You can play Wallner. So I don't mind it. I just don't love it. I guess I would just be picking on the stats that he shows that how bad he's been against the lefties.
Yeah, kind of on the same page. I mean, the Twins. I just can't remember a slate recently, and maybe it's happened where you've needed the Twins to win. Like I'm good on them. Like more 3-man opposed to 5, but very interested in the A's. Like you mentioned. Next game, we have the Rangers. We have the Royals. 8 total in this one. Team total for the Royals around 4. Rangers right around 4. You talked about liking Cameron. I'm assuming you don't have a ton of interest in the Rangers. On slates like this, I'll always include Corey Seager, make sure I get a decent bit of him. On the Royals side, yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're facing this dude I've never heard of before, and they're only projected to score 4 runs. So, that's worrisome to me. So not a ton for me here. I will make sure I have some Seager, and I don't know. That's about it. I don't love really either side offensively. What do you got here?
Did they say if Rooker was starting, or is it just going to be a bullpen? Yeah, Bouchley, it's going to be a bullpen game. So, yeah, I mean, like I said about the Royals, I mean, the Royals been hitting, I mean, a little bit better. I mean, better than they have. I just think it's not a slate for something like that. I don't think they have the power even come close to hanging with like a Dodger team. No way. So I'm not interested in any Royals. I mean, like I said, I don't mind. I mean, that bullpen, I generally don't like bullpen games either because they can play some matchups and all that fun stuff. But yeah, I definitely am not really interested in any Rangers against Cameron. But I think Cameron, like I said, to me is like the safer play today. I mean, there's all kinds of strikeouts to be had in this Texas lineup. I mean, Langford 27, Corey Seager 25. I mean, there's literally only, well, you can put Jung at basically the average at 22. I mean, there's only one dude under the MLB average on that lineup for Texas. So I like Cameron too much.
Yep. Kind of in agreement there. Next game, we got the Brewers, Cubs. We already talked about this game. Low total sitting at 7. I believe the lowest on the slate. Wind is blowing in Wrigley. That's why we're seeing the low number. I have pretty much no interest in this game. Like, I'm going to play definitely more Ray than the Brewers offense. And then the Cubs, I'm not necessarily endorsing Mizorowski, but it's like I don't love the Cubs either. I mean, this is a low total, wind blowing in, and relatively cool too. We didn't talk about it. Temperatures upper 60s, I believe, for the game. So out on this one offensively. Anything you like here?
No, yeah, like you said, wind blowing in, low total. I think there's other spots we could look at. I don't even really like any one-offs either.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Next game's obviously the big one. The Dodgers, Rockies, massive team total for the Dodgers, over 7.5, sitting at 8. very good matchup for them. I'm sure they go off tonight. Rockies side, they're obviously facing Ohtani, who will be a very popular pitcher. It is interesting. It says he throws left here. That's incorrect. But, if you're looking for some leverage on the slate, Rockies offense would be the spot. Ohtani is going to be pretty popular tonight. So if you're looking for leverage, you can go Rockies. But in terms of the Dodgers, a little tricky. Not tricky, but I guess you can't play Ohtani as a batter. So you have less options in terms of what you want to do with stacking. Their lineups not super strong top to bottom. Obviously, some guys at the bottom are looking a little weaker nowadays, but this is a team you're going to want heavy exposure to on the slate. You can stack it any way possible. Obviously, they'll be the most highest owned bats on the slate, but tough to get away from it. So I'll be playing a lot of Dodgers, and I don't necessarily hate some Rocky teams. And, just as a leverage point, we know Ohtani is going to be popular. Is the Rockies offense good? No, but I'll take some chances, especially if you're doing 150. If you're playing 150 teams, I think it's fine. But obviously the main takeaway on the slate is the Dodgers offense projected to score right around 8 and should have no problem getting to the Rockies pitchers and their bullpen as well. So anything different you're seeing here?
No, Dodgers really stand out. Yeah, it does suck you can't use Ohtani, but you look at this Gordon dude that they're rolling out. He doesn't strike anybody out, but I did see, his ground ball percentage is a lot higher to the right side, 50%, and his fly ball percentage is 15%, where to the left side, his fly ball percentage is almost 36%, where his ground ball rate's 32%. So the lefties are getting the ball up in the air on him. The righties are, digging it into the ground. So, I do like some of the lefty. We got Conforto. Obviously can't use Shohei, but you got, Freddie, Freeland's interesting. And then you look over at Colorado, they got, 2 guys in the bullpen. I didn't look at the usage here, Palmquist, and they got, let's see what the other dude's name is here, Rolson. So, I don't know if I'm really too scared about those lefties getting pinch hit. I was a little bit more scared yesterday, but yeah, I don't know. I think they used that lefty a little too. I have to go back and look, but yeah, I just was worried about that pinch hit there down there for those bottom guys, especially them lefties.
Yeah, good points there. Yeah. Him and who's the righty
Freeland.
that they use? Yeah.
He hits both sides, but yeah, it depends who they use. I don't think the lineup came out yet.
No, it's not out yet, but I guess a little bit of pinch hit risk there, but it's tough to avoid on the slate when they're projected to score so many points in Coors, or so many runs in Coors. Definitely a tough situation to avoid. A couple more games. Do us that favor, hit the like and subscribe on this video. Appreciate all the support in growing this channel. All our videos are free, so just ask that you hit like and subscribe. Helps us out a ton. Got the Reds and the Angels. Team total for the Angels sitting around 5. Team total for the Reds about 4.5. My favorite thing with a guy like Kikuchi, even if I'm playing him, is definitely to stack against him as well. He is somebody that when it's off, it's off, and the other team can go off. So I'm interested in some Reds stacks tonight. Even if I am playing Kikuchi, which again, if you're doing 150, you can definitely get both sides of it. So moderately interested in the Reds. And then I think the Angels are in a phenomenal spot against Nick Martinez. Lineup obviously not out. I probably want to focus on their main guys, but Zach Neto kind of just breaking out. I think he's a guy I definitely want in these stacks. So really interested in the Angels, like them a lot. I'm also interested in the Reds, knowing that Kikuchi is just going to get some ownership. Anytime you're playing one of these slates where there's not a pitcher that stands out or the top tier looks weak, these pitchers are still going to get owned. Kikuchi is still going to have a solid bit of ownership because it's just easy to get up there. So I really like the Reds as a leverage stack. So in on both sides here. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I like the Angels, actually. I got the Angels as one of my top stacks. Martinez, you look at him, he's at 13% strikeout rate to the right side, 21 to the left side. His ground ball rate's a little higher to the right side. but I mean, dude's been not very good against the righties. So I mean, his WOBA's up at 330 to the right side. So I mean, guys like Trout, Ward, especially guys that get the ball in there, like Ward's at almost 36% fly ball rate. Trout's at almost 31. Moncada's 34. Even Hoppe is at almost 30. So I mean, they all got some fly ball. Neto 28. So they got some fly balls in that group over there with the Angels. And I think in that stadium, we know that they've been giving up all kinds of home runs out there in Sacramento. It's basically almost like Coors Field 1A. So, I mean, we got to look at something for the keep up with these Dodgers in Coors Field. And I think the A's can do it. I think the Angels can do it. And I think the Braves can keep up with them. Other than that, I just really think, the likelihood of a team passing, even if the Dodgers score, 7 or 8 runs today, I think you're going to have some pretty big numbers from some of these other teams, and I just don't love it. So, yeah, I think those are the teams that can keep up with the Dodgers tonight.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, Angels, A's are the two to me that I probably like the most outside of the Dodgers, just because I think the Braves do sneak up there in terms of ownership because they're a little more expensive. It's going to be their main guys are a little more expensive. It's still going to be easy to play them, and I think a lot of people gravitate towards them. So, like, obviously you got the Dodgers up at the top, but yeah, the A's and Angels I think are two. I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of those teams that you need tonight. So interested in both of them. Last game, not a ton to look for offensively. The Giants and the Padres. We talked about Sears. We like him. I don't love the Giants. And then like the Padres, they'd be one of those teams like whatever I get, I get. Like I don't think I'm going to like force in the Padres. If you're doing 150 teams, like if I get some, I'm good with it. But I don't think I'm actively trying to get exposure to them. So if I get them, I get them. That's kind of my take. Not a great hitting environment here overall. So, won't have much on the Giants side. And then the Padres, it's going to be like whatever I get sort of thing. What are you thinking here?
Yeah, I mean, JP Sears, I think he's going to get some ownership. I think maybe some of the Giants for some leverage might be interesting. Like Ramos, I mean, he smacks the shit out of lefties. I mean, he barrels up lefties at 14%. Devers is at 13.2%. And Adames has always been a lefty killer. He's at 11%. So, I mean, I don't mind that. I mean, Sears is a strikeout guy who allows fly balls. I mean, it's kind of like, one of them two things. So I don't mind. I just don't like the park hoop. Like, I hate playing shit out there in San Diego at 6:40, 9:40 Eastern time because, you get that heavier air coming in off the ocean there, marine layer air they call it, and the balls just don't seem to fly out there in San Diego. But I think you got a fly ball pitcher. I mean, it is a good place for him, park for him. If they're out in Oakland, Sacramento, I think it would be, it would be a lot better for San Francisco. But yeah, I think. I don't know. I think it's a pretty good spot here, but with Sears out here in San Diego now, I mean, he's got a better spot here being a fly ball pitcher. I think that's better for him than obviously that's like being out in Coors. So, I mean, it doesn't work out too well, but I mean, I don't mind it. I think it's a low owned spot that might not get, might get overlooked, a fly ball guy. I mean, we've kind of stacked against him before and it worked out for us a few times, but I don't love it. I just think it should be in play.
All right. Yeah. I don't necessarily hate that. I mean, they did it the other night against Nestor Cortez, right? They just kind of went off and hit. I think they didn't go off, but they scored 4 runs right out of the gate, and it was all home runs. I mean, obviously a little bit of a different situation, but like they got to a very popular guy on the slate right in the first inning via the home run. So I guess I wouldn't be surprised if something like that were to happen here tonight. So yeah, maybe I do, consider the Giants a little bit. All right, give me, your final thoughts here offensively. I think we're kind of on the same page in terms of what we're looking at, but final thoughts here offensively.
Yeah, I mean, decent little slate. I mean, it does suck. Both sites are so much different because of the Ohtani thing. Like, how good is Shohei Ohtani? I mean, to be the best pitcher on one site and the best hitter on the other site, like, that's kind of crazy. Think about it. So, I think, that's definitely in play today. Dodgers are obviously the stack we're going to have to fend off. I mean, that Colorado team's just been so bad. That bullpen's just been god awful. And, it's not like they have anybody that even belongs on an MLB roster, and Gordon even coming out today. So I think the Dodgers are in a pretty good spot, but I think those other teams, as I mentioned, can keep up with them. The A's, the Braves, the Angels, I think can keep up with them. So those would be other spots that maybe I'd go to if you want to fade some Dodgers. But, I think, maybe mixing in some Reds, like you mentioned, maybe mixing in some Giants or something like that with some Dodgers may help out if but I mean, hey, if you're going to play like 10 teams, maybe you go eight of them Dodgers, but mix in some like the Reds or mix in some Giants or mix in, some other spots and, not get overly too chalky there. But I think pitching will kind of be mixed up today. I think Shohei will be fairly chalky over on DK. I think Kikuchi, but yeah, I think there's a hitting slate. I mean, we're at that time of year. It's warm. Balls are flying out of the yard I mean, we saw yesterday the Yankees. I don't even think they had that many runs at the beginning of the game. All of a sudden, bam, and they went nuclear at the end of the game, which can happen because some of these bullpens are just terrible. So I think we could see that today. And I see here Wardo. I think I agree with Jason. I think that's a guy today. If you ask me who's going to hit a home run, I think Taylor Ward's my favorite guy on the board to hit a home run today.
Yeah, I love that call. Love the Angels. And again, I the Reds for some reason. Like anytime Kikuchi's on a slate, you want to stack against him if he's going to have any sort of popularity. Not saying go bonkers overboard with the Reds, but to me, they're like the sneaky team on the slate that I think can get it done. But I'm with you, like Angels, A's, Braves. But again, the Dodgers could just absolutely nuke this entire thing and go off. That wouldn't be surprising either. So weak pitching slate, focus on your offense for sure. Make that your priority. See what you can get at pitchers. And I talked about it. If you're playing in contests, not the huge, lotto sort of contest, but, single entry stuff, like try to get 25 to 30 total at your pitcher spot. And I think you can accomplish that by focusing on some of the cheaper pitchers today. So, fine slate, 8 games. I think that's a good number. Good luck to everyone out there. Hopefully we see more Ship It Nation logos at the top of the leaderboard. We've had a hell of a season. Football's right around the corner. Like I said, now is the time to get in. If you have any questions about any of the packages, reach out to us, Discord, or email info@shipitnation.com. But good luck to everyone in your contest. We'll be back tomorrow with another edition of the Ship It Nation MLB show.